walk around with that chain all day, people gonna be asking you, what's the science? What's today's mathematics?
Yeah.
All day long.
By the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah, I'll tell y'all who got off camera.
You stealing chains now? Is it a world star?
Not really stealing.
No.
Does it mean anything to you though?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm with you. I don't like the conversation either. It's like, I call myself the God because I feel like it sometimes. I study a little lessons, but I'm not into all, you know.
Yeah. Religion is like a personal computer, you know. You let people in if you want to.
But in Long Island, they had the gods and the earths, you know, like the 5% nation, the Nation of Islam. It's not the same thing, but affiliated in a way. It always was intriguing to me because they was out there hustling and doing their thing, but at the same time, they had a lot of knowledge. I had a group of friends in school, and we were all interested in this information, and we were actually cut out of school to go to the library because we realized that school wasn't teaching us about the history of our culture and our people. I had bumped into some other books that these Muslim brothers used to sell on the streets. The author was Dr. Malachi Z. York. His books just opened my eyes even wider. Simple things like when you say amen after you pray, like where does that come from? Like the origin of the Bible, the origin of the Quran. And I came across the word Illuminati. I wanted to put what I was learning into the music, but I didn't want to turn the fans off. So I decided to plant seeds.
About a year later, after this song comes out, Jay-Z drops his debut Reasonable Doubt, and on it he has a song called The Evils. What is the Illuminati? Like, if you could break down what it is that we're actually talking about when we say Illuminati.
It's a group that was formed like in the 1700s, something like that, 1600s. This dude named Adam Weishaupt, he started this group of people, like powerful, rich people that basically could shape popular opinion and the way, the world is gonna move forward. The word means like the illuminated ones. Light is like information. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you see the light now. I found out the origin of the information that they were teaching. It basically comes from this group called the Essenes in Egypt. These are like the original black culture. They're like the scholars, doctors, scientists, esoteric thinkers, and they just knew how to do stuff. Like, for example, look at the pyramids. Nobody understands how the pyramids were built. These are the people that had that knowledge. Eye of Horus, the pyramid, those are artifacts and things from black culture. They represent certain things of our people from ancient black history of Egypt. You know what I mean? Ancient Egypt. You got these group of people, they break into the tombs, they steal the riches, like the gold and the mummies, and they rape and pillage our culture. Here, they got you thinking your own people and your own artifacts and your own symbolism is evil.
Found this in a cave. This thing is 2,000 years old. On one of these pages, it really focuses on the fallen angels. And this blows my mind every single time. Because this is called, no joke, the Book of Giants. In this book, it talks about how the angels bring both knowledge and havoc. The angels exploit the fruitfulness of the earth. Now, when I hear this, I think they were building empires. I mean, could you imagine a city built by angels? But that's not even the most interesting thing, because there is this one sentence. It talks about the angels taking 200 animals from all species and genetically modifying them. I'm not kidding. In other words, it says right here, from every animal, from every bird, for miscegenation. Miscegenation means crossbreeding. It's genetics. It's the highest form of science, and it kind of makes sense, actually. The angels were making their own creations. They were playing God. And that just begs one question. What would a fallen angel ever want to make?
Called the Dark Matter Tour because this time in history we know more about the universe and space than we have ever known in the history of mankind right fucking now. And some of the shit they done found out, they don't know how to fucking tell you, because they don't know how the fuck you might react to some of the shit that they done found out. So they found out that in the universe, all of the galaxies, all of the moons, all of the suns, all the stars, everything we can see with our eyes, they found out that that is 5% of the universe. The fuck? That means we know 5% of what the fuck is out there. They don't want to say what the other 95% is. They don't want to say it's God. They don't want to say it's a nigga God. So they called it dark matter. That's what it is. 95% dark matter. They done found out some shit they don't want to tell you. Thanks to James Webb Telescope, we can see all the way back to where the Big Bang was supposed to be. And guess what? I don't want to be the spoiler alert, but it wasn't no bang, bitch. And it wasn't motherfucking big. So, back to the old drawing board. And they found out there's no dead particles nowhere in the universe. None. No dead particles. So that means when your ass leave here, bitch, you go somewhere else. We don't know where the fuck it is. I'm just here to let you know that no matter how your life is going right now, please understand that this is the greatest time to be alive for any human beings that have ever been on this planet right now, and you're involved. It's the greatest time to be alive. You're the first people that don't have to take no shit. If you don't like something, you can motherfucking fix it. You ain't got to take nobody's shit. Even if you don't like the way God made you, you can switch it up.
This is why you never think you know it all. So where we really at right now is this. Remember this. If older people don't listen to younger people, they become slow amongst older people. When younger people don't listen to older people, they become slower amongst younger people. If young people would listen to older people, they move faster amongst younger people because you got advanced knowledge.
Right.
And when older people listen to younger people, we move faster in the older world because you got new knowledge. So when we listen to each other, we all grow. And that's called culture. You can learn something from everybody at any age in life. Each one, teach one.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Can you do something for me? Can you hit a little for me? Can you do something for me? Drop some bars to my pussy ex for me. Can you do something for me? Can you?
A Home Depot employee wore a hat that said America was never great. And a lot of people wrote to Home Depot and wanted to fire her over this. Like this person, Paula, who said, I will never shop at this store again. So I made my own Home Depot Facebook page and responded and said, Paula, that is great news. We look forward to never seeing you again. Cheers, the Home Depot. She responded and said, I'll let corporate know you feel that way. Thank you. Corporate's like, Paula, we don't care.
As the plane reaches its target area, an advanced scanning technology called LIDAR is used to fire laser pulses through the trees at the ground below. When the resulting data is later compiled into a three-dimensional rendering of the area, the scientists are stunned by what they see.
Once LIDAR got involved, we saw roads leading out into other city centers. We saw thousands upon thousands of houses. Collectively, all the areas that they covered were over 60,000 new buildings that we didn't see before.
Look at these murals found in these structures. We know what kind of people they were. We know the truth now.
This is the black sun. It's called the black, that particular part there is called the black sun. Right up there you'll see a particular reptilian demon. You see a screw that represents the Kundalini. That reptilian demon that you see is the Kundalini in you. But you also see a demon called a Karna zone. It's the holy demon. Now what is this? You go into your Godhead. The Kundalini is rising you to take you through the gateway, which is the black dot. But you have a lower nature. The lower nature likes it here. It wants to stay around. You understand? And it's going to do everything to keep you from going up. So therefore, it makes everything in your outside world seem impossible, so you'll get off the path. Oh shit, I ain't got no money. Oh this, oh that. You see what I'm saying? Because the lower nature really wants to get through. Once it see you rise, the lower nature says, well hell, I'm going to try to go too. That's your ego. You want to take all the foolishness with you. You understand what I'm saying? All the jealousy, all the envy, all the petty stuff. It sits over the doorway, and it's ready to devour anything that is not pure to get through. So what it does, it kills the lower nature, so only the higher nature rises through the stargate, and you go to your Godhead, and you become God again. You understand where I'm coming from?
An individual vibrating at 700 on Hawkins' map of consciousness counterbalances the negativity of 70 million individuals below a level of 200. An individual at 600 counterbalances 10 million people below 200. One at 500 counterbalances 750,000 people below 200. And an individual at 300 counterbalances the negativity of 90,000 individuals below 200. So you see, your vibration may be more important than you thought. And so we cannot allow ourselves to be swept up in the hysteria of what's being perceived around us. And instead, we have to go within and cultivate a holographic version of the world we want to see. We have to hear it, we have to touch it, and we have to feel it. And then we have to hammer it into our psyche over and over and over. We have to anchor the world we want to see. We can't continue to anchor the world they want to see. We have to become relentless about holding the line and holding the space for the loving, fair, just, joyful, and peaceful world we want to see. We are now at the precipice, and so now it is time to apply your training, to be a lighthouse to everyone you come into contact with, of power, strength, compassion, stillness, and peace. It's time now to intensify our connection to each other and to the Creator, to be beyond confident in our true human power to create reality and to steer the world of the seen with what we hold fixed in our unseen realms, to deny the reality they want to see with all our soul, our heart, and our might, so that what we hold true within will propagate the without. This is not a drill, it is time. I know you can do it, I love you, and I believe in you. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.
When you cut a carrot, the inside of it looks like the iris of your eye.
Mm-hmm.
Carrots are good for your eye.
That's what we call the doctrine of signatures.
Mm-hmm. When you take a walnut and you cut it, it looks like a brain.
Mm-hmm.
Walnuts are good for the brain.
Absolutely.
So my question to you is this coincidence?
No.
Or is this freaking real?
Yeah, we call it the doctrine of signature.
Explain.
You know, so if you look at Substantius tubulosa, it looks like a penis.
Mm-hmm. And it's good for your penis.
It's good for the penis. It's known as the Genghis Khan herb. You know, Genghis Khan has so many children, man, and he needed help, and that was a Substantius.
You probably have Genghis Khan's DNA.
You know,
don't we?
You know, so Substantius. You know, you have Turia, you have Heterophylla Turia. And this tree right here, man, it looks like a penis with the testicles at the base. And that herb benefits the testicles and the penis. We call it guru root. You can go to mandingo.com to check that out. And that's Mandingo, M-A-N-D-Y-N-G-O. Not the I-N-G-O, that's a porn site. But Mandingo, M-A-N-D-Y-N-G-O, that's a herb site. I don't mess around with that porn stuff, all right? Make no mistake. But you can find the guru root and the aka the heterophylla at mandingo.com. So it's called the doctrine of signature. When you take a herb like eyebright and it has a little vessels that you can look into the white of the eye and see the blood vessels. Eyebright is good for the eyes. There are certain herbs that are thin, they're fibrous, but they're thin, which is the same as the inside of the female vagina. Like these herbs are mucilaginous, red raspberry leaf, marshmallow. They're good for the female vagina. So the doctrine of signature.
You hear that?
Let me say the that's
they need it. That get rid of yeast infections because these bras need it.
Need the wild yam root, which is the natural birth control, right? 99% effective rate. That's where your dioxygenin came from. See, before there was the drug, there was the herb. You see, as a matter of fact, the word drug goes back to the old French word drogue, which means dry plant. The plant, that's your medicine, not the drug. They push the drug on you because the drugs bring in a lot of money. You can't patent. You can't patent a herb. Weed is a
Places in America that the government doesn't want you knowing about. This is the Mickelson Safeguard Complex in North Dakota. This place was originally created in 1975 as a way to deter missiles from the Russians. But here's the weird part. This site cost $6 billion to make. Mysteriously, the site was only operational for a single day. It opened on October 1st, 1975, and then closed down the next day on October 2nd, 1975. Really gonna try to tell me that the government dropped $6 billion on this place just to keep it operational for less than 24 hours? But for real, just look at this place. Like, are you serious? Many people have theorized that this could be a possible headquarters for the Illuminati, given its extremely close resemblance to the pyramid that's commonly associated with them. Also guys, when I was doing research on this place, I clicked on their website, and what came up I can't show on TikTok, but go look it up for yourselves, it'll creep you out.
Everyone on the planet Earth has 7 clones of themselves. Your other 6 clones have the same emotions as you, but all of you have different reactions. This is why you have seen someone that looks exactly like you or someone else you knew. That was your clone. You can be a drug dealer in the hood and one of your clones can be a scientist in Russia. If one of your clones is having a heart attack, you can feel a sharp pain in your chest. Clones are made by duplicating the cells in the body, or you can go into the nucleus of a cell, destroy it and inject another nucleus inside of it. This can happen to humans, animals or plants. Extraterrestrials such as the Anunnaki use a cloning method called cryogenics, where they were able to freeze the cells in their body and made 9 copies of themselves. The Egyptians used the mummification process without causing any damage to the cells and tissues. They can also put you in a test tube and create another copy of yourself, or they can take you through a time machine and speed up your age process. Cloning was originally made for body parts. If a person was ill or sick, they would replace their organs by receiving it from one of their clones.
And we coming after our lands too, and we don't need this government's help neither. We're gonna create our own, in which we did have originally. I also showed them that. I also showed them that our people were the original Republicans. I told them that we were in this government before they even came out with a rule stating that, you know, oh well, they only count as 3/5 of your human being. We were already in the government. This is the reason why they had to reconstruct everything in 1871. Though foreigners made themselves first-class citizens. That same year, that's when you saw the corporation become a real corporation. They incorporated themselves that same year. The government is a corporation. So they treating it like a business every single time. This is a capitalist society. All they want you to do is bow down and join, otherwise you're gonna fail. That's why it looks like it's designed for us to fail. Because we have no idea in school that we should be learning about credit, business, taxes, ownership. They teaching us about English, math, and science. And that's not even being, I mean, it is, but it's not really being used by those large corporations. They all about money. They're about funding themselves. And we were the original capitalists between the 1830s all the way up to 1879. In fact, Frederick Douglass took over the Freedmen's Bureau banks with his own money. How did he do that? I thought he was a slave. He took over all the banks so they won't crumble. How did he do that? I thought he was a slave. I mean, what? He sold all his crops, sold all his land or something? How did he get that rich? That's well documented. People not peeping it. We were already the breadwinners a long time ago. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, we talking 1800s. We need to get back to that. I know people gonna be like, well, no, I mean, just look at what they did to Tulsa. It's not just Tulsa. It was multiple Negro Wall Streets already excelling. The government sent their agents in, W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington, to go be nosy to find out what we were doing. It's some enemies. It's some enemies, and it's some enemies that look like you and I that need to be called out. And I have those records. In fact, my 2 last videos, I showed you that W.E.B. Du Bois was going back and forth with Franz Boas, the grandfather of anthropology, the one that created the out of Africa theory, telling him what to do in order for him. And he was allegedly supposed to be the first person of color with a doctrine. But he was telling him by way of letter what to do, instructing him. I got all those records. I just showed you one of them on screen. Look, and I put a little arrow on it, like, here it is, see his signature? And I looked up at the top, see who it's addressed to? Like, I'm not kidding. Wow. These people they betrayed us for the money. It was a lot of sellouts that look like you and I. And I'm just calling them out. Shout out to Steve Coakley, Dick Gregory, because they were doing it too. They were bits and pieces. Well, Steve Coakley went far. He was calling them out. Dick Gregory was calling them out a little bit later on because he needed protection.
Right.
He did it though. And he was involved with a few of those Boule secret societies. And he ain't care. Same thing with Martin Luther King. And he ain't care. After a certain while, they gonna speak up. Like when they had enough, they gonna speak up. This is the reason why I don't get involved with that stuff. I'm gonna tell you how it is right now. I'm not gonna tell you how it might be. Like I'm telling you, I'm forcing them to change these records. Big time. Now they started up the 1619 Project story. Now they're telling you what, like how I mentioned 5 or 6 years ago, that it didn't start in Jamestown. It started in Fort Monroe, Point Comfort, Virginia, now known as Hampton, Virginia. But they came from the West Indies. And I showed you those. I forced Virginia Department of Historic Resources to change the record. This was already done years ago. Now they're giving it to a white man. I don't care. They're gonna give it to some white man saying he did it. No, he didn't. That's a lie. I got it all documented. By video and everything. Me going there and everything. This is on camera. They're gonna stop these lies. It's gonna take a second, but they're gonna stop it.
To all my American followers, when your candies come over here, the ingredients get slapped a big warning label. Warning, E102, E10 may have adverse effects on activity and attention in children. Contains genetically modified ingredients. See? This big warning label thing slapped over all of your candy. So you guys can see, look. All of these candies have the same warnings, the same stickers get put over when they reach the UK. See? Look. All these chemicals. So please, if you are giving your kids any of these things, avoid them.
The hidden lands beyond the ice walls. Awakening truth. Let's have a little journey to the old map. Did you know that there are other worlds and more lands to explore?
This will be one of the wildest things you've ever heard in your life. This video is for entertainment purposes only. If you've never heard of The Secret, it's said to have been written by the Rockefellers. But look, I thought this was crazy. This is what the ChatGPT AI responded when I asked it to type out The Secret for me. I ended up finding a video of this woman right here reading it.
The Secret was created by none other than the Rockefellers, and maybe even someone even higher than them, let's be honest. But this is their secret in their clause of things that they wanted to follow. And if you're a conspiracy theorist or a critical thinker and you're aware of what's been going on in the world, you're going to know exactly how suitable this is. This is written word for word, and I want to read it to you. Okay, so bear with me. The secret, an illusion, it will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We'll create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always, and we will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they will never see what's happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their mind. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths, and they will destroy their minds and reproductive system. From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them and what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in the film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them that it's for their help. We will start early on. When their minds are young, we will target their children with what the children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases, for which we will create yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will go depressed, slow, and obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention toward money and material goods, so many never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games, so that they may never be one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish the governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be always pure, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will grow them kindly and gently, letting them think that they are guiding themselves. We will foment animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits it best. We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally, anger as our friend. The hate will blind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. They shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger through images and sounds. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that they were all one. This they must never know. They must never know that a man's color is an illusion. They must always think that they are not equal. Drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they will have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we will accuse them of crimes and present a different story to the world, for we shall own all the media. We will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we will crush them like insects, for they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of their own to carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are not us. The recruits will be called initiates and will be indoctrinated to believe false rites of the passage to their higher realms. Members of these groups will think that they are one with us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn this truth, for they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel the stars. They will never reach their higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage to the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden in their face, so close they will not be able to focus on it until it's too late. Oh yes, so grand the illusion of freedom will be that they will never know that they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we will have created for them will own them. This reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from time. But if they ever find out they are our equal, we shall perish. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never ever find out what we have done, for if they do, we shall have no place to run, for it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions will have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is the secret by which we shall live the rest of our present and future lives, for this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans.
Describe the reptilians as shapeshifters, you might think of a creature that physically changes its shape, like Odo from Star Trek, Mystique from Marvel Comics, or Tonks from Harry Potter. Reptilians don't do this. They actually always look like themselves. What they do is manipulate the human brain to perceive them differently. The source of the reptilians' power is their ability to alter our perception of reality. And they don't do this with telepathy, they do this with technology. According to David Icke, the moon is not only a spacecraft, but also a holographic projection device. The broadcasts from the moon warp our reality, or at least our perception of reality. There's what's known as a frequency embargo around the Earth.
Wait. Who enforces this embargo?
Well, there's a bunch of alien races who are part of a galactic federation, and they keep an eye on the reptilians, but it's a whole thing.
Go on, I got time.
No, it needs its own video.
She got me all excited. This is a bunch of bullshit.
There is much more to reality than we can perceive with our senses, and the human brain is quite capable of experiencing the true universe. In fact, it was specifically designed to do so. But the frequencies that would allow us to see the real world are being blocked. Instead, we're locked into this simple three-dimensional existence, but there is much more being withheld from us. If you believe in simulation theory, then these beings are the creators of the simulation. If you're religious, then these beings are demons or jinn. Either way, they're not our friends. But why? Why would an advanced race want to keep humans oblivious to the real world? Well, when humans were first created, the alien creators learned something. All other animals on Earth are driven by instinct. The instinct to eat, to survive, to reproduce, and that's about it. But when the first humans were given sentience, a byproduct of that sentience was emotion. Sure, humans are still driven by instinct. We're driven to survive and reproduce like every other animal.
Ugh, and I got the guppy support payments to prove it. Oof,
But because humans are now aware of themselves and their existence, they experience the world differently. They experience fear of the future. Humans experience the pleasure of nostalgia for the past. No other animal has this gift, or this curse. Animals kill for survival, but humans kill out of hate. Our alien creators learned that our emotions carry energy, and the creators learned that this energy can be consumed for nourishment. Unfortunately for us, negative emotions are the most nourishing of all. Some have described the alien desire for negative human emotion as a drug addiction. Now, if humans were able to see and understand our true reality, we'd know that our energy, or soul, or spirit, or whatever you want to call it, can move to a higher plane of existence after we die. But instead, the alien creators, addicted to our emotions, keep us here. We're born, we live to feed the creators, then we die. Then we come back and do it all over again. It's forced reincarnation. This process is handled by a piece of equipment that's been called a soul recycler or a soul cube, which is a large box-shaped device that's installed on the moon. The cube watches us and then transmits our energy back to Earth after we die, over and over again, and has been doing so for thousands of years. Now, I know the theory sounds like science fiction, but many skeptics were turned into believers on December 6, 2021. That's when, completely by accident, a lunar probe took a picture of the Soul Cube.
Conclusion over many years that reincarnation is a trap. It's not that it doesn't exist, although I don't think it's quite the same as it's explained. It's a bit more subtle, maybe, but I do think it's a trap.
The recycling of souls, reincarnation, is the machinery of this universe.
John Lear, son of Learjet inventor Bill Lear, flew his first flight at age 14. He became a stunt pilot, a contract pilot for the CIA, and set multiple aviation records. But John Lear's most known for his theories about the alien presence on Earth. He's also exposed a lot of information about the cube-shaped soul catcher on the moon.
The soul catcher is I think is the 6 mile high tower in the middle of Sinus Medai, right in the middle of the center of the moon as you look at the moon. And the famous photo that Richard found, Lunar Orbiter 384M, shows that huge tower. And he also has 2 other photographs that show that tower. I think that tower is what I call the soul catcher. When you
wouldn't believe me if I told you, so I'm gonna have to show you. Clouds are falling out of the sky again. This is somewhere in Nigeria. Do y'all remember a few weeks ago where I showed you the clouds falling out of China? And then there was somewhere in America as well? Guys, what does this mean? Does this mean the simulation is falling? Oh my god. Like, share, and follow for more for videos like this. And also keep up with me on my other platform. Let's get.
What's going on in the sky? We're steady seeing these videos appear of clouds that's falling out the sky. They're materializing and becoming foam. Y'all see this? The sky is falling. The sky is falling was once a download that came from Chicken Little. Now that got me thinking, how the fuck is the clouds falling from the sky? I thought that clouds was vapor, water vapor, right? So if they're now materializing and looking like foam, that's not water vapor, H2O, that's in the cloud. Them are extra chemicals that combine together and make a different type of chemical molecule, bubble, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Water vapor goes into the sky, and when the water vapor goes to the sky, they collect with each other and make clouds. So if the clouds are now falling and materializing, them are not real clouds. Are y'all now getting it? Are y'all getting it? Them are not clouds. I'ma just say it. Them are not real motherfucking clouds. Let me know how y'all feel about the clouds falling from the sky. And this is for entertainment purposes only, TikTok. Only entertainment. Don't take me serious.